me, Catherine, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time seeing my face, hi, my name is Kat, and I really like musicals. Today, we're going to be doing a character tutorial on Anne Boleyn from 6. Lots of things to explain here, so bear with me. First off, this video is made possible by Audible, so huge thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. Audible's kind of been saving my life while I've been socially isolating, which brings me to my next point. I don't know when you're watching this or what the circumstances are around you, but at this moment where I live, everyone is kind of on a self-imposed quarantine, so my apologies for not being totally spot on and accurate. I did the best I could with what I had on hand. But without any further ado, let's jump on into Anne Boleyn from 6. Okie dokie, y'all, let's get this party started. Like I mentioned in the intro, we are on a self-imposed quarantine, so I'll be using products that I already had on hand. In general, when it comes to makeup, I do just kind of use what I have around because I try not to be wasteful, but because of that, this tutorial won't be identical to what the Anne Boleyns of 6 do, and I'll point out where those differences are. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and grab some Scotch tape. Now, this is my favorite tool to get a very precise eye shape on an eye look, but this is just personal preference. If you're not into it, no worries. You can do it freehand, or you could use something like an index card as a border as well. I'm going to stick and unstick the tape from the back of my hand so that it kind of loses part of its stickiness, so it's not quite as harsh against my delicate eye skin, which is a phrase that I've just decided is absolutely terrible. Anyway, slap that on, and there you go. That is the finished look. If you like this video, go ahead and hit subscribe. I'm kidding. Now, we're going to go in with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Fix. This is a matte primer, which is why we're going to use it all over the lid. If there was any kind of sparkle or sheen to it, I would probably just keep it on the actual lid itself and not up on the brow bone, but since it's matte, I'm gonna put it everywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out with a clean little fingy. The warmth of your finger should help kind of melt the product and make it a little easier to smush around, but you could also use a brush if you'd like. Next up, I'm going to go in with the Glossier Sky Wash in the shade Lawn. Now, this is a newer product from Glossier. It's a really cool liquid eyeshadow, but I'm going to use this as a base today, actually, for my powder eyeshadow. Speaking of which, I'm going to go in with Tokyo Tea by Morphe, and I'm going to go ahead and lay that down everywhere where I put the liquid shadow. This is going to help really amp up the color. We're definitely going to deepen this up, but if you wanted to go in with like a forest green shade to begin with, you can also do that, but I don't have one of those on hand, so this will have to do. Next up, we're going to take Porcelain by Morphe, which is a matte white shade, and we're going to put that all over the brow bone, really kind of creating that border and making sure that the green doesn't get too high up will really help avoid this look from getting too crazy, too out of hand, too clowny. I'm going to go in with an olive green shade. This one's by Kiko, and I'm going to use that to help darken up the look. I'm going to start kind of toward the outer third of the eye, and I'm just going to blend that in following that original neon green shape. Let's darken it up even more by going into the Naked 2 palette and grabbing Blackout, a matte black shadow that is so scary to work with that I'm praying to Bernadette Peters that I don't ruin the whole look. I'm going to gently blend that into the outermost edge line of the eye look, and it's going to look totally crazy at first because you've got a lot of blending to do. Now, keep in mind, if this does fall out everywhere, that's totally okay. That's why we don't do our face makeup first, in case we end up with a bunch of shadow all over our cheeks, and now we can just go in with a makeup wipe and clean up that shape. Now let's go in with a pretty dramatic, bold winged liner. I tend to use Kat Von D's Tattoo Liquid Liner, but use whatever you're comfy with. I'm also going to use some glitter from Glossier that I believe is being discontinued, but this is what I had on hand. It's kind of a silvery gold color. Keep in mind that Anne Boleyn usually uses green glitter, like a dark forest green. Unfortunately, I don't have that, so I went ahead and did some silver glitter. And now I'm going to do the exact same face makeup that I've done 20 million times here on the internet. Heyo. So let's hang out. Now, I've gotten a lot of questions about why I haven't done videos on 6, and I actually did. I made 2 videos about it, and both of them have since been deleted. I tried to do like a first impression reaction video where I listened to the cast recording for the first time ever without knowing anything about the show, and that video did not go well. I tried to make a follow-up video, but all I could really discuss was the album, the historical context, and the performance reviews. So so I might do more videos on 6 in the future, but only after I get a chance to see the show for myself. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to see 6 soon. I was planning a trip to New York for like late spring, early summer, but that's all kind of up in the air due to the Broadway shutdown and quarantine. Which, circling back to the show at hand, the Broadway shutdown actually happened on 6's opening night. Some shows are now starting to publicly announce what their plans post-shutdown are, and I just realized that I had the light off for this entire tutorial. Anyway, some shows like Flying Over Sunset and Intimate Apparel will reopen in the fall, but shows like Hangmen and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf will not be able to open at all. Some national tours like SpongeBob, Miss Saigon, and Once on This Island, which I have been waiting to see again for 2 years and was supposed to see in 2 weeks, have all canceled the rest of their runs. I am so immensely sad that so many shows will have to be cut short because of this horrible time. It's so tough because so many actors, musicians, technicians will now be out of work. It's going to hurt a lot of the theaters, and it's going to hurt the audience members who never got to see these beautiful shows. I'm a really strong believer that right now everyone needs to be self-quarantining, but it's really tough to watch all of the ramifications and the fallout that this time will have on so many different industries, not just Broadway, but that's what we're talking about right now. Anyway, I don't want to be too much of a downer, but if you're stuck at home and you want something fun to do, come hang out with me on my second channel. I've been vlogging a ton while I too have been stuck at home, so let's be alone together. For blush, I'm going in with How Deep Is Your Love by Too Faced, and that's a very hot kind of poppy pink that I'm going to pop onto the apples of my cheeks, and I already regret making that joke right now. Gonna pop on some Mary Luminizer by The Balm as a highlight, and I'm going to put that on my nose, right above my lip, and on my cheekbones. For brows, I'm going to go in with a couple of different products by Glossier. First up, I'm going to take the Boy Brow in the shade Blonde, and that's actually what I use on my brows every day. But I put it all throughout my brows, and this kind of helps soften up my brows, it helps define them a little more, and it also makes them a little bit blonder because, as you can see, I have very dark, very neutral colored brows, and I feel like using blonde kind of helps them match my color a little bit better. I will be going in with brown in the second half of the brows, and that's to add a little more depth. And now I'm going to go in with the Brow Flick by Glossier and kind of draw in individual hairs to really get that statement brow that Anne Boleyn has. I'm going to take this green kind of olive pencil liner to the bottom of my eye, and I'm going to run that same lime green eyeshadow over top the liner to set it and blend it out. For lashes, I'm going to take Rodeo by Morphe and whoa, costume change! So let's get started on that hairstyle. First thing first, you're going to need to do a center part, and if you usually don't wear your hair in a center part, be sure to take time to acknowledge how weird you look with a center part. Do you feel like you're back in middle school? Do you feel like you're getting your hair cut? Whatever's happening, it's a weird feeling. Try to mask it with some enthusiasm. So now I'm sectioning off the pieces of hair that will eventually become the space buns. I'm pulling those pieces out and away because I'll be curling the rest of my hair, and the buns don't necessarily need to be curled, and I'd like to avoid heat damage where I can. Now at this point, you might be asking, why are you curling your hair if only some Anne Boleyns have curly hair? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Nobody asked. I'm curling my hair because I'm about to clip in some extensions for additional volume, and curling my hair will help blend in those extensions. This is totally just a preference, so feel free to skip that. I'm curling my hair using the Duval 3-in-1 curling iron using the thickest barrel. I believe it's about 2 inches. Now, this step might take a little bit, so feel free to put on a podcast or an audiobook, both of which you can find on Audible. How smooth was that transition? Audible is the top provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks, ranging everywhere from like bestsellers to celebrity memoirs, fiction, and self-development. This is how it works. Every month, members get 1 credit to pick any title, plus 2 Audible originals from a monthly selection. You also get access to daily news digests like the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. They also have guided meditation programs, podcasts, theatrical performances, A-list comedy, and exclusive Audible originals you won't find anywhere else. You can download titles and listen offline anytime, anywhere. The app is free and can be installed on all smartphones and tablets, and you can listen across devices without losing your spot. How cool is that? If you can't decide what to listen to, don't worry. You can keep your credits for up to a year and use them to binge on a whole series if you'd like. Recently, a Pew study found that 27% of adults say they haven't read a single book in the past year, and the main reason being they don't have enough time. That's one of the biggest reasons why I love podcasts and audiobooks. I'm able to enjoy them while I'm cooking, cleaning, driving, and now I can't wait to enjoy, yes, Yes Please by Amy Poehler. I love this book, and it's been years since I've read it. It's on Audible, narrated by Amy Poehler and a whole bevy of other amazing comedians. I can't wait to enjoy this book again, but now in a completely new way, and while I clean. You can get an Audible 30-day membership for free when you visit audible.com/Katherine Steele or text Katherine Steele to 500-500. Again, that's audible.com/Katherine Steele, or you can text Katherine Steele to 500-500. Huge thank you to Audible for sponsoring this portion of the video, and perfect timing too, because I just clipped in my extensions. So let's move on with the hairstyle. Now, space buns as a hairstyle are deceptively difficult. Here's where I went wrong. Instead of just grabbing it and kind of throwing it into a bun like I'm doing in the video, it's so much easier to tie up your hair into little pigtails and then turn it into a bun. You can ensure that they'll be symmetrical, they're a little easier to work with, and you can just pin them to keep them in place. Well, I didn't do that, and it took me an exceptionally long time to do my hair. I mean, the side that you guys are seeing right now on the video, I was able to get pretty quickly, but the other side, oh boy. It straight up took me like 45 minutes, so definitely be sure to do as I say and not as I do. So this is just like a super chill stay-at-home quarantine outfit. I know that this costume isn't nearly identical to the one used in 6, but this is what I had on hand. I had this woodblock bee that I found in the garage, so I put some glitter on it and tied it around my neck using some balloon string. I'm gonna put on some lipstick, but surprise, surprise, I don't have a similar shade. The most ill-prepared tutorial of all time. I'm going to mix NARS Cruella with Witchy by Smashbox. Hopefully this will kind of get me a match. We'll find out. Let's get some. Add a little bit of Witchy to help darken it up because it does look pretty Christmassy up in here. Well, that's not the right shade either. Get off some of the darkness. I feel like I'm steps away from this all going horribly wrong. I'm just gonna fix the lip shape with a little lip brush. This is definitely a much different look than anything I have ever worn in my entire life, and I'm kind of feeling it. Like, I am having fun here. This is great. Where do I even wear this look to? Do I go in search of toilet paper in this look? I don't know, but I'm having fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this quarantine edition of a character tutorial on Anne Boleyn from 6. If you guys want me to do more character tutorials, request some in the comments down below. Also give this video a big thumbs up so I know that you like character tutorials. If you're new here, hit subscribe, join the musical theater internet cult, because surprise, we are a musical theater internet cult. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you so, so much. Break a leg, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!